This is PRIME7 Local News with Madeleine Collignon, Kenny Hinkley and meteorologist Carl Linders with your local weather. Now, PRIME7 Local News at 6.
Tonight, the astonishing discovery which blows open a 42-year-old cold case mystery.
Our local politicians on the burqa and citizenship scandals enveloping Canberra.
The $6 million pit stop aimed at reducing driver fatigue on our freeway.
And a colder weekend on the way, but it will be drying up. Your local weekend weather details tonight.
Good evening. There's a remarkable development tonight in a 42-year-old cold case mystery.
Victorian police have been baffled ever since schoolboy Terry Floyd disappeared on his way home from school. Now his brother, Rutherglen man Daryl Floyd, has discovered a vital clue during a painstaking dig in a deserted mine.
Daryl Floyd has spent almost his whole life searching for his missing brother. 12-year-old Terry disappeared while waiting for a ride home in central Victoria in 1975. For the past 7 years, Daryl has been excavating an Avoca mine shaft where he believes Terry's body was dumped. Now this incredible discovery.
To find this upper half of the leather shoe, and given the fact Terry was wearing leather shoes at the time that he went missing, is quite significant.
Those helping Daryl with the search say this could blow the cold case wide open.
Out of everything that came out, it just happened to be sitting on the corner. And I mean, we watch everything that comes out, but it was just luck and good fortune that it was there and we spotted it.
I think every time a bucket comes up, you're hoping to see something, and when you finally do, it's that's a pretty surreal sort of feeling.
Daryl believes the shoe is the most solid piece of evidence he's found to date and could hold the key to finding his remains.
We know it's a shoe from the 70s. It is a kid's shoe, it's a size 6. We have a replica shoes that we have on site, and we've married them up beside that, and it's the spitting image and spitting size of that particular shoe.
Detectives will now examine the shoe, leaving Daryl with another agonising wait for an answer he so desperately seeks.
I made a promise to my parents that I'd never give up until I found him, and we're stalwart. We're going to keep going until that happens.
Josh Ruberich, PRIME7 News.
Further details on the North East Rail Line's $140 million upgrade will be announced in coming weeks. Member for Indi, Cathy McGowan, met with the Federal Minister this week for an update on the scope of works, a timeline and how money will be spent.
He was very strong in his commitment that things will get underway, that he appreciates the urgency of the matter, that he'll engage with the community.
Ms McGowan says North East Rail passengers can expect to see improvements later this year.
Federal politics is tonight local politics, with 2 of the Borders MPs back home and taking differing approaches to the citizenship row threatening the coalition. But on the streets, it's a burqa-wearing stunt that has most people talking.
It's this Pauline Hanson stunt on the floor of the Senate that has people talking.
An absolute disgrace.
You know, just inappropriate. I think I'm on her side.
But our local members are more concerned about the dual citizenship scandal, which has now enveloped the Nationals' Deputy Leader Fiona Nash, as well as its leader.
I just think it's sloppy behaviour, and I think the parties really do need to clean up their act.
The member for Indi now thinks both Barnaby Joyce and Fiona Nash need to follow in the footsteps of another National Senator, Matt Canavan.
Having seen that the precedent set already needs to be followed through. So I would like to see them step down, certainly from their ministerial positions.
But the member for Farrer today was quite sympathetic towards a woman who replaced her as Health Minister.
I really feel for my good friend and New South Wales colleague Fiona Nash. It is most unfortunate.
On the streets, opinion is divided.
Poor Susan Lee had to stand down, so I can't die.
Well, they should do the homework, shouldn't they?
I don't reckon we should worry about it if they got dual citizenship.
Cathy McGowan says the scandals have overshadowed a lot of good work being done, while Susan Lee has another view.
It's not a crisis, and I believe we'll come out of this in a few weeks' time, and it will be business as usual.
Josh Ruberich, PRIME7 News.
And there will be more on the fallout from the citizenship debacle in 7 News at 6:30.
It's been a horror week for Wangaratta District Emergency Services. 4 people have died in the region and 5 others seriously injured. The crashes occurred in 3 shires, the Moira, Towlong and Indigo shires. Police say drivers need to take more responsibility when behind the wheel.
At the end of the day, vehicles don't run off the roads by themselves. They run over and crash into other things because the driver has or hasn't done something.
Investigations are ongoing for all of the crashes. Police urge drivers to take care when on the road and obey all signs and speed limits.
One way to combat the road toll is giving drivers more chances to rest. And today, a multi-million-dollar rest stop opened north of Albury.
There's a new toilet block near town and a car park with enough space for 20 B doubles. This $6 million rest stop is about 30 kilometres north of Albury and is part of the government's attempt to stamp out driver fatigue.
We've got very strong laws now around taking breaks at certain times, and this enables that to happen a little bit easier while we keep productivity going.
The money's come from both state and federal governments, and with the freeway a major transport route, MPs say it's vital truckies can pull over.
All those heavy vehicles have their regular rest stops as they travel between the main capital cities of this country.
But is the site worth $6 million?
The reality is that it costs what it does, and if you're going to do it, you have to do it properly. We're talking about landscaping, we're talking about ceiling, we're talking about these bomb-proof toilets, and we're talking about plenty of space, and the cost is what it is.
Although minimal lighting doesn't seem to be an issue for parliamentarians.
I would feel quite safe stopping here because you can lock your car from the inside if you need to.
It's estimated that 5,000 drivers pass through this section of the Hume Highway between Tabletop and Mullinjandra. Eleanor Tabone, PRIME7 News.
While low-lying areas across the region have faced minor flooding this week, it's been a different story for our Alpine areas. Overnight snowfall has delivered a healthy 30 centimetres of fresh powder to Falls Creek and 26 centimetres at Mount Hotham. Low-level snowfalls are expected across the weekend and could reach as far as Beechworth, while Alpine locals are just pleased Mother Nature has finally delivered this season.
It's amazing to see what we've got here at the moment, 160 plus centimetres. It's great skiing.
Snow bunnies heading to the mountains this weekend have been urged to take care on the road and watch out for potential hazards such as black ice. Freezing cold weather across the region, hopefully more snow on the way for this guy here. Exactly. So with more on the weather, let's check in with meteorologist Carl Linders.
Very jealous. So we're looking pretty good in the mountains, but what about away from the mountains? How's it been looking closer to sea level?
So blustery conditions on the lowlands, as we sort of say, in northeastern Victoria today and through southern New South Wales. We've had very high wind chill. Despite these numbers, it's been feeling more like 3 to 5 degrees through the day with gusty northwest to southwesterly winds. 9 degrees at Beechworth. The heaviest of the rain has been again across the mountain areas overnight. We saw 78 millimetres of rain at Rocky Valley, just to the southeast of Falls Creek. A lot of that falling as snow. As we can see, cold air field has now penetrated through Victoria out towards northern parts of Victoria this afternoon. It is now seeing southerly winds in its wake push right up through New South Wales. Very cold air will be trapped by high pressure, so the Bureau's posted a severe frost warning tonight for, well, frosty conditions. They're back, and I'll tell you more about your weekend weather a little later on, guys. Cold, cold, cold.
Freezing. We'll have to put those cars under the garage. Thanks, yes, Carl. See you soon.
Still to come in PRIME7 News, the Veterans Reunion and Service, 40 years in the making.
And taking team building to the next level, the virtual take on business studies.
Stay in touch 24/7 with PRIME7 News.
Vietnam veterans are tonight being commemorated for their service in the Battle of Long Tan. 18 Australians and around 500 North Vietnamese soldiers were killed in the battle on this day back in 1966. A major victory for Australia in a bloody conflict. Eleanor Tabone is at the Albury SS&A Club. And Eleanor, what's happening?
Now, there weren't only Vietnam vets here today, but also those who served in Afghanistan along with their families. 88 servicemen were honoured for their service to this country.
It's a time that we get together to remember those who didn't come home and spend a bit of time with those who did.
The service included prayers and speeches and finished with the last lament.
Eleanor Tabone at the Albury SS&A Club, thank you.
Last year was one of the worst fire seasons ever, so now the Rural Fire Service is conducting research into the public's perceptions of fire danger. They say the survey will help crews better manage future disasters.
The RFS survey focuses on community attitudes in relation to the catastrophic bushfires we saw between January and March this year.
The volunteer organisation's management of the deadly Sir Ivan bushfires is being criticised by some groups like New South Wales farmers, who are calling for a comprehensive inquiry.
This survey and the interviews that we are designed to help inform the Rural Fire Service's improvement of how we can best respond to catastrophic fires, including the Sir Ivan fire.
It's hoped the research, which will be conducted by the University of Wollongong, will also help fire services understand the community's perceptions of fire risk, as well as their use of information and warnings. They're particularly interested in hearing from those who were directly affected by fires last season.
So the Rural Fire Service and the University of Wollongong have been spending time out in fire-affected communities, and we've spent time interviewing over 100 residents about their personal experiences of fire over the last fire season, and we're trying to get a really in-depth understanding of their stories and their journey.
To have your say in the survey, visit the RFS website. Serena Nastasi, PRIME7 News.
A handful of workers have rallied outside Wangaratta Council as the bitter pay dispute drags on. Over half the council workforce have turned down an offer which would have seen a cut in allowances and annual performance bonuses, as well as changes to wording in termination clauses. Affected staff stopped taking calls or emails from 1:30 this afternoon.
Members have made it very clear they don't want to give up anymore. They feel that it's up to the council now, the ball's in their court.
The union says the protected action won't affect essential services such as bin collection or emergency call-outs.
The hottest technology in town, virtual reality, is the latest trend on the border, and local businesses are being urged to take advantage to help improve team building and communication skills.
Ever thought of climbing Mount Everest? Well, here's your chance. Known in the gaming world as VR, virtual technology is all the rage.
It takes into account that the person is actually in the environment. So instead of becoming a passive user where you just sit back and experience something, you actively have to participate in virtual reality.
But the high-tech equipment is no longer just for gamers. Instead, Albury's own Possum Works is helping local businesses build their employees' skills.
Corporates use it for team building exercises. It's great for OH&S issues on work sites and inductions.
It's a fun, interactive technology that businesses across the border are being encouraged to utilise, with the potential for new staff members to build their critical thinking, problem solving and communication skills. An array of virtual stimulations is available, which even allows those with disabilities to experience things they've never experienced.
If they've never been on a bus before, they can come here, they can start from the start, they can buy the bus ticket, they can go to the bus stop, they can learn to get on the bus. So then when they do it out in the real world, they've already seen what it's like here.
And this futuristic technology is a major coup for the border.
So to be able to come here, see what it's like, develop those skills would definitely make the world of difference.
But for those simply looking for an escape, or for those who hate the cold but want to climb Everest, virtual reality is the way to go. Eleanor Tabone, PRIME7 News.
Still to come in PRIME7 News, the race for finals footy heats up as North Albury appealed to the big city boys over their coach's suspension.
And storming the castle after the biggest dump of snow at Falls Creek. There's been a sensational development over the two-match suspension of North Albury co-coach Dan Leslie. The club has been granted a stay of sanction. Now, it means Leslie will be able to take to the field against Wodonga on Sunday. The stay has been granted as North Albury looks to a full appeal of the O&M's tribunal's ruling. Leslie was suspended for kicking Corowa's Jay O'Donoghue in round 14 clash. The incident wasn't caught on camera, and the tribunal's decision was reached after hearing verbal evidence from spectators and O'Donoghue himself. Finals are now just a few weeks away, and the scramble to make it into the top 5 is reaching fever pitch in the O&M. So to try and make sense of it all, once again is our team from the Friday Footy Forecast.
G'day footy fans, welcome to Bunton Park and welcome back to our weekly footy forecast. We're going to do something a little bit different this week. We're going to try our best to guess who's going to make the finals and who's going to miss out. We're going to get out our crystal balls, and we've got Beavis and Butthead here from 2AY, and they're going to try and guess as well. So you guys ready? Going to get stuck in?
Good to go.
Rip, mate. Beautiful. Let's go. So out of Lavington, Yarra and Wodonga, who do you reckon's definitely going to be playing finals?
Well, the way I see it, Fletch, pretty easy. This Saturday, if you've got Lavington...
Here we go. You got it worked out, mate.
Yep.
All right, easy. Okay, so the winner out of Lavington and Yarrawonga, not only will they play finals, so it's pretty easy.
Does that make any sense to you, mate?
Sounds like we're no wiser from that, Fletch.
So who's going to miss out, mate?
Yeah, Cora Rutherglen, Wangaratta Rovers, Wodonga will miss. They might still win the last two games. They still could miss. Definitely make it. Yarrawonga will make it. Wangaratta are already there. Wodonga Raiders are there.
We got no idea.
Oh, don't care. We're meant to be the pros, mate.
Stuffed if I know. We're not the bloody experts.
All right, now Robbie's gone. Give us some kind of reasonable answer. Who's definitely going to be playing finals?
Well, I'll dumb it down because I'm pretty good at doing that. If Lavington wins this Saturday, they'll play finals. If Yarrawonga wins this Saturday, they'll play finals.
Wodonga, no chance?
They're an outside chance, but the odds are stacked against them, I think. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the reasonable answer.
That's what I do.
Now, since it's clear none of us really know what we're talking about, we're going to leave things up to chance. The budget here is blown out. We've bought some fidget spinners to try to appeal to the youngsters of the generation. We're going to give it a spin. Whichever one it lands on will be missing finals this year. Give it a go, Simon. Let's see what happens.
I reckon the wind's fine.
It's bad luck that you're fidget spinning. Big fidget.
Oh, it might be spot on. Oh.
Uh-oh.
No one!
We're none the wiser.
That's generally...
5 bloody minutes and it's gone nowhere.
Well, it looks like Lavington and Yarra are going to miss out by the looks of it. Well, that's why you tune into the footy forecast, guys.
Thanks, Einstein.
Really insightful footy talk. As always, guys, enjoy your weekend of footy. Don't pay any attention to that. Cheers.
Getting more and more scientific as we go on with those forecasts. Well, in more footy news, Wangaratta export Darcy Vesio will miss the upcoming AFL Women's State of Origin clash with a knee injury. Vesio took the Women's League by storm this year, leading the goal kicking for the competition. The Wangaratta native became an inspiration for local female footballers, but a knee injury will keep her out of the inaugural Women's State of Origin clash next month. Carlton hope that she'll be back in time for the AFLW season next year. One of the region's most popular snow sports events returns this weekend when some of Australia's best freestyle skiers and snowboarders storm the castle. Now, the pictures are absolutely awesome. Watch and enjoy.
The popularity of Falls Creek's annual Storm the Castle slopestyle event has really snowballed since its inception a few years ago. And the recent snow dump has organisers and competitors confident this year's will be the best yet.
A few triples, maybe a quad if I can pull it out in time. You know, just pretty basic stuff and basic moves here and there. But yeah, just to get going.
The concept is a pretty simple one. Jump and jib your way through what has become a world-class slopestyle course. And conditions will be the best of the season.
The new park crew came in, they made Storm the Castle, which is a full-on slope style, 3 jumps, bunch of rails, and just big air, good vibes all around. Really brings the whole community here at Falls Creek together.
Payne has won Storm the Castle twice before, but with the event growing in popularity, he's expecting some tough competition.
Let's see what happens. There might be some good competition on the hill. There might be just fun vibes all around, but either way, it's going to be an awesome day tomorrow.
All the action kicks off at Falls tomorrow morning. Fletcher Doherty, PRIME7 News.
Well, you can see how much snow has fallen in the Alps, but conditions are expected to ease after our wintry blast. Carl has you covered with your weekend weather details coming up next.
For a closer look at the weather forecast, we're joined once again by Carl Linders.
So, Carl, with all the rain that we've seen and the snowfalls, a lot of water is flowing down into the catchment areas.
Absolutely, and it's really well worth the time to have a look at the dams because it's been a very wet week. 200 millimetres has fallen across the catchment areas of the region, and that's led to some minor flooding across many parts of northeastern Victoria, but the dams are loving it, going up to 83%, and there's still a minor flood warning downstream of Lake Hume this evening, and those flood warnings should be wrapped up by the end of the weekend. High pressure is to thank for that, with a clearing procession through the next 24 hours or so. We'll have a frosty start tomorrow with lighter winds, and an even frostier start on Sunday with severe frost under this ridge of high pressure. We'll get a band of light rain on Monday. That'll clear out by Tuesday, and then a few weak cold fronts next week. No severe weather in the outlook period beyond tonight with that severe frost, and across the weekend it's really a settled pattern looking like it's establishing itself through to around Friday of next week, with only light rainfall through the region. As you can see, falls of 15 to 25 millimetres over the next week. A lot of that will fall on Monday with that weakening low pressure system. So the leftover showers tonight and a little bit of hail and graupel will clear the region. Tomorrow morning we do have still snowfalls and very cold temperatures overnight, -10 to -2 for you there in the Alpine peaks, and frost will be lighter on the plains. We'll have light winds through Sunday. That'll lead to very frosty conditions throughout northeastern Victoria. Severe frost warnings likely for Sunday as well. Temperatures improving a couple of degrees on Saturday, and still very chilly in the Alpine peaks and at Corryong, -5 to 12 degrees for you. Monday that rain will start to build through the afternoon and evening. Some light falls, 5 to 10 millimetres of rain likely, and that will clear up through the early part of next week. We're not looking at great rainfall beyond Monday. Sunny skies by this time next week, and warmer, guys.
Yeah, much warmer. 17 by Friday.
Absolutely.
In sunshine. Bit of a change. Thanks, Carl. See you Monday.
And that's all we have time for tonight. You can join the debate on Tonight's Stories on Facebook.
And also watch tonight's top stories on our website. Thanks for your company. Coming up, 7 News from Melbourne. Have a great weekend. See you next week.
Bye.